Hey, it's David with Blackout Guitars and Kazoo Theory Shop. I'm here with another episode of Guitars and Gardening. We talk about some guitars, we talk about some gardening, and we have a big old time. Today I want to talk about what I do and why I do it, and then we're going to pop out to the porch, and I've been the caretaker of hundreds of little friends for about over a year now. They weren't originally hundreds, they were really just a few, but they have multiplied, and we're going to release them into the wild, and I thought that'd be super cool. So let's get to it. So I get asked all the time, did you invent the cigar box guitar? Did you invent the cookie tin banjo? Did you invent the license plate guitar? No, I didn't invent any of these. I saw a magazine article online. Someone had posted with a video, and there's a guy making a cigar box guitar with a stick and some kite string. It was nothing more than a toy. It kind of went plunk, 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 and I thought, I wonder if anybody's done that with real guitar strings. And so another quick internet search, and there was a whole world of it. There was a whole history of the cigar box guitar that went all the way back, 1800s. You can read about that history in this book by William Jewell. He wrote this cool book called One Man's Trash, and it tells all about the history of the cigar box guitar. And so I was like, this is all very, very cool. So I decided to build myself one day. And I built this. And then I cut off a table leg and I made myself a slide. And I said, I've never played slide blues guitar before, but I found myself a cigar box, a stick, a peanut can, a license plate, put some electronics in it, and started playing around town. And that's really out of tune. But people started seeing my guitars and they were like, hey, will you build me one? Hey, I'd like one of those. And here I am 10 years later. I've built for hobby musicians, I've built for local musicians, and I've built for famous musicians all over the world. So it's been a super cool ride. But that's enough about guitars. You want to see all these little people go back into the wild. They're not actually little people, but let's go check them out. Hey, we're out on the porch, and I have with me this terrarium I put together. It's about 10, 12 inches tall, and I filled it with things from the forest and from the yard, mosses and sticks, and I also found a couple of little roly-polies around our water garden, 4. And I put them in here, and I did a little reading on roly-polies. Do you know they're actually related to shrimp? They're like land shrimp. They actually breathe with gills, and they run around in here, and they eat decomposed things and break down leaves and stuff. Very cool little animal. They're actually called isopods. They're related to those big isopods you see from the ocean, all kinds of cool stuff. But anyway, I put some in here and I started to see some babies. And then I saw more babies and more babies and more babies. And now we're kind of overrunning here and it's time to let some guys go. So let's dig in here and we'll scoop some out. All right, here we are. We did a lot of scooping, and look, we have tons and tons of these guys roaming around. I'm not sure if anybody else is left in here. We're gonna keep an eye out before I redo the terrarium for a couple of days. You can hear the frog over there in the pond. Listen to that. And we'll get these guys put over here in the ground over by the pond where the frog is. So let's run over there and do it. So we're over here by the water pond, and this is where I pulled the original guys from, and we're gonna just kind of dump these guys under a rock out. And look at this, we're gonna dump them in, and they're gonna go running. Look at them. There they go, released into the wild. Very cool. They're gonna find their way We're gonna let everybody kind of dig around, and we're just gonna cover that up. They enjoy having some cover. So there you have it. Cannonballs, roly-polies, pillbugs, whatever you want to call them, released back into the wild around the water garden. I'm sure they'll continue to live happy little lives. And we'll take this terrarium, set it back up, and get us some new little friends that we can watch. And stay tuned for another episode where we show you how to set up your own terrarium so you can watch little folks run around in there and grow and live and reproduce. It's a cool little project. For now, this has been another episode of Guitars and Gardening, www.blackowlguitars.com. Thanks.